All right. Why good credit still keeps you broke and how to fix it. All right. Before I get into it, guys, I want to go ahead and do a couple shout outs real quick. Before I do that as well, can you please scroll down and make sure that you're subscribed to my YouTube channel? And also, literally in the caption, if you click on that, all my social media accounts, all the links are there. Please go follow me. Comment on the video, like, subscribe, shoot me a DM, do all of that, guys. I really appreciate you guys locking in and watching my content. Seriously, it's been a great year. Let me tell you, we're already starting off January really strong, and I've been growing my YouTube channels pretty well. I've been getting tons of views, and yeah, I mean, I'm getting literally almost just between the two new YouTube channels, I've been getting like around 100K views already. I've gotten, but obviously the subscribers and everything like that has not been keeping up. So, guys, please, I just wanted to remind you to go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. But also, I wanted to let you guys know that I have a Skool community. Okay, and the link is in the description. Please go ahead and click on that. Check it out. It's for a specific subset of people. In the actual Skool community, I talk about real estate investing, credit, business investing, and stuff like that. How I was able to really like boss myself up from just a corporate employee to actual, like entrepreneur, and really significantly increase my net worth and everything like that. So definitely, if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and check it out. It's my paid Skool community. Check out the link, go visit the About page and watch the videos, pictures, read all the description and everything like that. Also, guys, check out Credzly.com. All right. That's a fintech company, and they offer credit monitoring services, credit builder loan, rent reporting, identity theft insurance, and so much more. So let's talk about it. Today's video, why good credit still keeps you broke and how to fix it. So now I can't even tell you how many times I've met people that like, anytime we do discuss credit or anything like that, whenever that topic does come up, which especially when I first got into this scene, I talked about it a lot because I'm a very obsessive person. And, I would meet all these people, family members, friends of friends, whatever, just people I would meet out, whatever. And they'd tell me like what a great credit score they have. And I'd be like, okay, cool. Like, and you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, first of all, most people don't even know genuinely, like, because I've, you know, I let people know what I do, right? And they would be like, oh, that's cool. Well, I have good credit. And I'd be like, oh, yeah, let me see. And they'd have a good credit score, right? Their credit score would be over 650, over 700. But guess what? I would like look into the actual report. I'd be like, oh, you still have a charge off. They'd be like, what are you talking about? Oh, yeah. Or they'd add like a collections or something that they settled. You see what I'm saying? And paid it off. But I was like, yeah, that, you still have negative items on your credit report, regardless of how good you think your score is or whatever. And most of, just so you know, like if you ever do go apply, which I don't know if you have or not, for any sort of credit products, most of them are just automated. They go into a computer system, and you're going to get most likely denied for anything that's really, good. And, or maybe, you're going to get a crappy rate or whatever, because yeah, sure, you might have a 750 credit score, but you still also have negative items. There's a charge off from a couple years ago that's showing up on here. Stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? But anyways, and then there are people, there are some people where I meet where like they have really good credit score and like, their credit report, no negative items, everything's on point. And they just been working their job for the last decade, 2 decades, whatever, and that's it. Like, they don't have any sort of investments, they don't have a business, they don't have anything else going for them. They're maybe got some savings and live like a very basic, ordinary life. And, they have to be as cheap as possible and try to save money and clip coupons and whatever, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, right? But I don't know. It's just like, what's the point of having the good credit? I don't understand. Is it just so you could flex and it's like a vanity metric to you? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just so stupid because, the whole point of the credit system, think about it. What does credit mean? If you go get something on credit, that means someone's lending you something. You understand what I'm saying? They're lending you the money to go get something, whether it's a car, a house, a loan, whatever the case might be. So it's literally the score that they base, like, your ability to borrow and pay back, right? But what good is it if you're not borrowing? And listen, at the end of the day, those of you that demonize debt, like you guys, oh man, you guys fell for the propaganda. That's just not how it works. At the end of the day, why are you so scared to borrow? Who told you that borrowing is a bad thing? Listen, at the end of the day, yes, maxing out your credit card to go buy a bunch of designer, that is stupid. I'll give you that. Yeah, that's bad debt. But did you know that there's something out there such as good debt as well? You get what I'm trying to say? And don't get me wrong, I'm no saint. Like I definitely have made my mistakes and stuff like that. I have fell for the bait for sure, trying to be flashy and whatnot. And I went and bought stupid stuff or whatever, or financed stupid things and whatnot. And yeah, I learned my lesson, and that's why you know the second time around when I went and I started, you know, basically using my credit again after I fixed everything, I went straight into real estate investing. And that's basically the topic of today's video is why it keeps you broke. So in 1 year, I was able to literally not even the full year. I'm just gonna break down what happened in a course of 12 months. I was able to take my credit score from 350 to 750, so I had completely crashed out and I had really bad credit. And I basically learned how to do credit repair myself. And I actually literally submitted a bunch of disputes back to back to back until all of my credit bureaus, like, all the negative items were removed. And I also educated myself on how to actually build a good credit report. So I was also building positive payment history, positive credit history simultaneously. And the same year, once I was able to get everything, removed, negative, um, I also started investing into real estate. Okay. And I was able to build up my net worth very fast, very quick, by a lot. Okay. And my method was basically is I was purchasing old beat down houses and in good areas though. I'm not really at the end of the day, I don't have time to sit around and buy in a hood that's going to be gentrified possibly in a couple years or in a decade or something. I'm here in the Chicagoland area, and a lot of people were trying to tell me to go invest in the city, and oh, but it's going to get gentrified and this and that. You can get in cheap now. Well, guess what? I'm not trying to wait 5 years. I'm not trying to waste 10 years. Nah, I need to move now. I need to do something, right? So I was going into nicer neighborhoods in the suburbs, and I was purchasing literally beat down houses, really old, nasty, ugly houses. And I remember the first time I did it, literally everyone was against me. They were like, yo, you don't know what you're doing, dude. You're coming from like the corporate world, office job, this and that. You don't know this stuff. You're not handy. You're not this. You're not that. You're not a contractor. You're not a real investor. This is your first property. Da 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 da. I was like, all right, well, I'm hard headed. I guess I'll just show you guys. And it worked out great for me, honestly. Like, and the fact that I was purchasing in nicer areas, um, and typically in these nicer areas, I will say that most people that purchase to like live in their property, they are buying something like, you know, pretty much turnkey. But, in my case, like literally the houses I was going for, there really wasn't that much competition, I guess you could say. And yeah, I purchased old, beat up, nasty, like disgusting houses, and I would immediately start fixing them up. And obviously, I was getting a mortgage. I didn't have like, just straight up cash to go purchase these. Even when I did, I'm not going to do that. That's like crazy. Imagine literally saving up 300 grand, right, of your hard earned savings, and then like risking that on the line. Why would you do that? At the end of the day, you don't need to, right? It's like literally you have a good credit score. You can go get lines of credit. You can go get high limit credit cards. You can go get business funding. You see what I'm saying? And yeah, it's just like at that point you'd be stupid. I'm just being honest, especially in something as stable as real estate. Like, so anyways, back to what I was saying. Obviously it wasn't easy and it took time, and definitely like, it was a lot of running back and forth. First of all, finding good, I would say the hardest part is like finding good employees, good workers, good GCs and stuff like that. And I was very blessed to find someone very good that I still work with till this day. I got a team of guys that work for me. And yeah, man, like I got it down to a system. I was able to actually do it with one house. And then I purchased the next house, did the same exact thing. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going into nice areas and I'm buying really crappy houses, disgusting houses, and I'm making them brand new. Okay. So that basically what it does for me is it literally I'm forcing equity and I'm also forcing the value of the house to go up and appreciate, right? And it's also taking me some time to do it. Like I'm taking my sweet time, taking a couple months here and there, right? And you know, the thing is, after like 6 months, for example, after 3 to 6 months, now I've got a brand new house in a great area, okay, and I paid way less to do it. And I was definitely bargaining, negotiating, finding little like resourceful ways to get better prices for material, negotiating really hard, finding good workers for low prices and stuff like that. And yeah, like literally it was always profitable at the end of the day. And then guess what? I could always do a cash out refi. You see what I'm saying? And I could get money back out of the property without selling it, and I could go ahead and purchase the next property. So I literally just kept rinse and repeating this. Now, this is actually it's not something I invented. It's called Burr method. Okay, I talk about it in my Skool community, so go join the Skool community, guys. It's in the link is in the description. But yeah, literally in 1 year, which to be honest with you, now I'm moving way faster. But in my first year of doing this, I was able to do it with 3 properties. Okay, so literally I'm 29 now, and we're talking about last year when I was 28. Okay, so yeah, that it was just awesome. It was amazing, and now I have my fintech company as well. I've got Credzly.com. So literally, you see how I went and I got the good credit score, right? And I learned how to use credit, and I'm using it for investing. You see what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest, like, trust me. At the end of the day, like I've had jobs and careers in corporate where I was making 6 figures, doctor money, literally doctor salary, okay? And I'm not even gonna lie to you. Yes, I'm taking a riskier route going into entrepreneurship and business, but I've never felt more secure in my future, and this is I'm not a bachelor, guys. Like I have a baby, I have a wife and I take care of my parents and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, like this I know at the end of the day, when I'm taking this risk and I'm making these calculated moves and I'm making like, solid investments, I know that it's going to be way better than some job, okay? Because let me tell you, good luck. If you think that your little, I don't even know, most of you guys don't even make 6 figures a year on paper or off paper for that matter. At the end of the day, like when you are making at least 100 grand a year at your job, your take home isn't that much. And especially for the guys, I know most of my viewers are men. That's why I make these videos where I actually make these videos for younger me. And younger me, yeah, I already knew what was up very quick at the end of the day. Like, I'm making whatever, 6 figures in corporate. And to be honest, it wasn't looking too good. And that was me as a bachelor. I was like, dude, what the heck? Like, this is not what it was meant to be, or this is not what it was all hyped up to be, because I'm thinking like, okay, now I should be financially free, right? But at the end of the day, after I pay my mortgage, my car note, my bills, I help my parents out, I don't have anything left over. Or maybe if I do, it's like, an insignificant amount that I'm going to end up spending anyways because I'm young, you know what I'm saying? And I have a social life and this and that. So it's like, dang, how am I gonna, be like the past couple generations and take care of my woman and kids and stuff like that? Like it's just impossible, man. Like I don't know. And yeah, that's when you start to realize, like, oh snap, like either you're gonna have to make your wife get a job and cut coupons and live super cheap and frugal, or you're gonna have to make some moves, man. You're gonna have to make some investments. You're gonna have to go into business. You're gonna have to, you know, one of the things that I definitely recommend is whatever job. First of all, there's nothing wrong with working a job. I feel like everyone should actually start there. You should start like with some sort of employment. And the reason I say that is because I know some guys that like, their parents took care of everything and, like they went to school and whatnot, went to college, never had a job in their life, and they are so stupid. And yeah, I literally tell them like, "Yo, you're so far behind, dude. You need to go get a job." I've been working since I was 14 years old, and let me tell you, it was the best blessing ever because I was exposed to work life and everything like that prior than most people. And yeah, it's truly a blessing because you actually learn way more in the real world. You actually learn way more in like working jobs and stuff like that than you ever would in a classroom. And the the thing I was going to say was whatever job you might be doing right now, whether you work in an office, whatever type of company you work at, whether it's a restaurant or if it's like I don't know, you're doing sales for some, like whatever, that would be actually not a bad idea for you to then go and take your expertise and your, resume and your experience and then go try to open it up on your own. So then you could become the top of your pyramid. You understand what I'm saying? When you are an employee, you are on someone else's pyramid, which I mean, listen, everyone has to start somewhere and it's a great way to learn. Think about it this way, people pay to go to college, you're getting paid to get your education. You see what I'm saying when you work a job. But obviously, if you just stay in that pyramid, someone else's pyramid, where someone else is like, getting the most money at the top, it would be a good idea for you to go eventually build your own pyramid. And, you could leverage, your expertise that you've already gotten from your job. You see what I'm saying? All right, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, please scroll down and like, subscribe, comment. Also, please go check out my social medias. Go follow me on, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I have Rumble, all of that, X. Um, and also, go join my Skool community. Check out my Skool community link. Go check out the sales page. And, shout out to our sponsor, Credzly.com. I appreciate you guys for watching. Thanks.